mentioned it time and time again, of those fifth legs. I just think that the story behind this is, if Michael wins, I think he could win, say, 3 or 4 of the next 5 or 6. But in my opinion, if Gary Anderson can win tonight, it would be the best hat-trick in world darting history. To do it in this kind of climate is amazing.
This crowd on Anderson's side as well tonight.
They certainly were. I mean, there was a little bit of booing for Michael. However, it soon changed to chanting Michael van Gerwen once he started moving up. But we have the 2 best power scorers in the game. You know, we have the 2 best players that high checkouts, the 2 dart combinations they're experts at. I don't think anything can go wrong tonight.
Players have been brilliant. The crowds have been brilliant as well this year. 66,000 people have come through the doors of the Ali Palace.
It's just been the dream tournament, and we have the dream final. There's going to be so much drama in the next couple of hours.
Thank you, gentlemen. John Part and Rod Studd in commentary.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. We arrived here on December the 15th. 18 days, 70 matches and 666 180s ago, and now this record-breaking tournament has its fitting finale. The world number 1 against the world champion, for the right to be called the best player in darts for the next 12 months. And Georgie Noble, the match referee, calls the first of what will surely be many maximums. What could be the most spine-tingling of nights of darts we've ever seen at the Alexandra Palace.
And we have the first of the outshot opportunities, which could be very important and usually are. And this is a 1-2-2 for Michael van Gerwen to hold his throw. Needs the treble, yes, so the bullseye. And what a start to the evening! A 1-2-2 finish on the bullseye. Gary Anderson looking as though he's resolute to come back.
The start we anticipated, the start we craved, between the 2 players that have won between them the last 3 world championships. Gary Anderson the last 2, and Michael van Gerwen in 2014, and when he won that final against Peter Stekebuik-Wright, he not only took Phil Taylor's world title, he took his world number 1 ranking, and he's held it ever since.
2 180s in as many legs. Now he just needs to win a leg.
He can win this one in 11 darts. The Flying Scotsman tops for the champ. In it goes. What a lovely leg. What a lovely start, John.
Yeah, and I'd say Gary's had the better start because he had pressure on Michael's throw, whereas he won his comfortably.
3 maximums in 3 legs. 34 is the record for maximums. To reach 34 in this match, it will be 700 for the tournament.
Nice symmetry about all that.
57.
Last year's final, Gary Anderson in the first set had one of the worst sets he'd ever thrown in the World Darts Championship. He averaged 70 odd. Lost it. Here he's averaging 114. Tops though!
115, Gary, you're 164.
Won't get the chance. So Michael should be good on double 10 coming back.
100.
To go 2-1 ahead. Double 5. Good shout there. Happy you got that double 5, because that's where things can go awry.
And the run of maximums continues. It's not just a run, it's already a torrent. Maximum in every leg so far.
100. 93.
We had 15 between them in the final of the World Grand Prix. That was a double-in format, which makes it even harder. They'll have double that and beyond tonight, you'd think. As Anderson leaves 81 after 9. Possible 11-darter again here, John, on throw.
Yeah, and possibly a crucial fifth leg, as we were talking about before the start. This treble 19, treble 18 for double 4. He's gone. He's left 4. He'll be back. And the crucial fifth leg, I was saying, possibly coming up. We talk about Michael's arm all the time. We don't give enough credit for having strong head, just like Gary Anderson has.
Double 1. Could this be the first chink in the armour? No. Anderson levels it up. Well, it was in that match against Dave Chisnell we saw the evidence of Anderson's strength in fifth legs of sets, wasn't it? 5 times it went to a decider and 4 times he won it. That one in the match.
Sorry, Rod, I'm just in a bit of shock. 43 to open this crucial leg from Michael van Gerwen after I credit his head.
But not punished. Not punished at all. And that's what happens when you give this man a second chance.
Game back on again.
Just 3 points between the players. There'll be a set between them, though, in a minute or two. Michael's second maximum may pave the way to the opening set.
137, Marty, 138.
Needs a treble 20. No. I was just thinking, Rod, this is the closest thing for these two players to get to playing against themselves. It must be unnerving.
Brilliantly put. He's going for the max. He's got it to leave double 2. It may not matter. He's had 4 maximums in the set. And he's lost it. He has lost it. He must feel like Raymond van Barneveld did last night. Anderson averaged 112 in that first set. He hit 4 maximums. He had an 11-darter, but it wasn't enough to put a dent in Michael van Gerwen's armour. The Dutchman, with the opening set under his belt. It's a race to 7. MVG leads Gary Anderson 1-0. It's final night at the Alexandra Palace. And Michael van Gerwen, the odds-on favourite to win his second World Darts Championship, has the lead, has the first set against the defending champion, Gary Anderson. Terrific first set. It featured a 122 outshot from MVG and 4 maximums from the Flying Scotsman. It's a race to 7. The set was on the van Gerwen darts, and Anderson will have to throw to try and level it up. Anderson averaging 112, Van Gerwen 103.38, which, and this is going to sound ridiculous, is arguably the worst he's played in the entire tournament. All his averages are 103 plus. Last night we saw 114.05. Just to repeat that, 114.05.
Yeah, well, it's the poorest on average, but very strong in the head. He used his advantage of throw and did just enough to get across the line and get the set won. He doesn't get enough credit for being strong mentally. And strategically, I mean, as well as just the confidence. Yeah, okay, but he knows when it's important to throw well, when it's important to get a key 3 darts done.
Rare birds indeed. The lesser spotted treble 5 and 5 from the world champion's right arm. And under pressure here on his throw. And now under massive pressure on his throw because Van Gerwen down to a manageable outshot. He may have 6 at that. And as we've seen with his 1-2-2, he may only need 3.
Yeah, if he can get that treble 18 again, and he has. So a bowl again. This time he misses. And that time it was for a break. So Anderson with a chance to hold, but he needs a treble.
88 left. So it's still on. 48 for tops or 60 for double 14.
He was going for 25 tops there.
Double 14. Dragged inside.
91, Michael record 25.
Double 8 now. Double 4.
17.
3 darts to break, 1 at ball and 2 at double you just saw. But Anderson now is scratching around on double 7 and he's only got 1 dart in hand. That is one of the best darts he's thrown in this tournament. Well, it was, wasn't it?
It was great. I'm going back to that 105, the 25 top stops, the temerity of the man. I think it stunned Michael a bit, put him off his throw.
Yeah.
93.
It's not the approved route, is it, on 105? It is a route. In the end, it took him down a cul-de-sac, but he managed to reverse and get out again.
140.
The whole throw, when it could so easily have been broken.
58.
And now, in a wonderful position to break. You have to keep getting trebles,
60.
though, Gary. That really doesn't threaten. Now, and more at ease, Michael van Gerwen can approach the board to set up.
$100. Gary, you record 161.
Can't go out now.
121.
But he is lurking with intent to break throw. Double 18. Oh, another sensational piece of timing, and this is what destroyed Raymond van Barneveld last night. Time and time and time again, Barney left himself handy, or indeed on a double, and Van Gerwen went out ruthlessly. It's tough to take when it keeps on happening, John.
Well, and that's a top mentality, controlling a top arm.
Second Tom Plus finish for Van Gerwen and a 5th max for the world champ. Oh, and he would have followed him in, but for the deflection.
Yeah, I don't think Gary's having anything else but a win in this leg. He's on a mission, down to 62 after 9.
$135. Gary, you require 62.
Oh, and he's missed the 4, which would have left double top. Now, against any normal human being, he'd almost certainly be back. He's not playing against any normal human being.
Mark, you 146.
He's going 19s, and he's got the first one. He'll be disappointed. That was sitting so nicely to come right in alongside.
Well, Van Gerwen will be disappointed. Anderson will be relieved, hugely relieved.
Game on.
Any player taking on Van Gerwen has to have a zero tolerance policy towards any form of mistake.
Yes. To the nth degree.
Superb early standard. They met in the semi-finals, which was a brilliant darts match, but made to look ordinary by current play from both these players. In regards to the fact of the averages, 102 for Anderson in that semi in 2015, 101 to Van Gerwen. Brilliant match. Now look what they're doing a couple of years later, adding 5 or 6 points to those averages.
123, Michael, you've won 90.
Well, he went 18, then double 18, double 18 last night. This time uses the bull for tops. To some tune. There's another one of those 5th legs in a set.
Yeah, and it's up to Gary to be efficient. Doesn't have to be spectacular necessarily. And a weak throw there, and there were 2 weak throws early at the first 2 turns of the last 5th leg.
97.
A smidgen of punishment.
Oh, yes, Gary. 6th maximum. Throwing beautifully, the world champion. Remember, this is absolutely priceless leg. It's a leg that's effectively worth a couple of sets.
Unbelievable timing for a maximum to come in then to get to a 2-dart outshot. Now Gary's hit a 1 first dart, and you can't defend his throw. Nothing he can do to stop him going down 2-0.
Van Gerwen going to win the first 2 sets in a last leg decider. Now he has gone groping for a treble and found the wrong one.
And he didn't really need to, did he, Roddy?
52, Gary, you require 80.
No. He bit off more than he could chew. His appetite was too much. Went for 2 tops. Oh, what can he see there? He can see enough. And Gary Anderson has squeezed one into double top. That could be priceless. Michael Van Gerwen couldn't seize the opportunity on 84 to go 2 sets up. Anderson cleaned up 80, and now this eagerly anticipated world final is all square again. 1-all, and what a start here at the Alexandra Palace. Gary Anderson looking for a hat-trick of World Championships only previously achieved by Eric Bristow and Phil Taylor has levelled up this final with a 2020 double top, 80 outshot. Taking the second set after Michael Van Gerwen had taken the opening stanza, also 3 legs to 2. Some flashy finishing from Van Gerwen, a 1-2-2 and a 1-1-6, but the maximums being shaded by Anderson, 6-4. 10 legs played, 10 180s. How do you like that? 1 each, first to 7. Anderson took some odd routes to finish there, John, didn't he? On 105, he essayed outer ball double top combo, and then when on 80 went straight for the double top at the start. Do you think that's a deliberate strategy to confuse the favourite?
Well, I'm not so sure on the 80 that he was going all out at the double top. I think he was putting it up there at the bottom wire, and if it went in, it went in. Otherwise, he had a nice building block and guide, and that's how it worked out. So he was just playing some percentages of sorts. By the 105, by trying to get to 25 first, you don't have to hit a treble then. There's 2 tops. And we're always saying that in this day and age. 2 doubles are better than a treble in a double.
Now the game has changed.
96.
You'd have got called a show pony back in the day for trying that kind of stunt.
Well, it makes sense though, Rod. In this day and age, you assume that's your last turn. In the old days, you had to think, well, what am I going to leave if I miss? Because I'm coming back probably, because it takes 4 turns to finish. But that's not how it is anymore.
No. They didn't used to average 114.05 back in the 1980s either. As Van Gerwen goes hunting another biggie into 174. Talking of biggies, the big fish from Anderson. He had one in the final against Adrian Lewis. Last year it broke the heart of Jackpot. Right at the end of the match. Double 16. That would have been for a third 3-figure outshot. Anderson wants tops. That is a break of throw.
Second leg, Gary to throw first. Game on.
The first of the match.
And that makes things very interesting as we move forward in the set.
83.
Fireworks ignited. A threat posed by Anderson. Inspired Van Gerwen. We have not had a 9-dart leg at the World Championship this year. He missed double 12 MVG last night against Barney for it.
Yeah, ironically, one of the probably the best standard we've ever had, but no 9-darter.
Well, some discussion that he'll change his route from 141. instead of finishing on double 12, aiming to get across to double 18. We'll see if he gets to that situation. As Anderson uses the outer ball this time to leave tops, with Van Gerwen waiting to pounce on 32 to break back in 11 darts. Well, he felt the threat and he felt the heat, and he looked irresistible in that leg.
Well, yeah, and that's the mental side of the game, to be able to key on your physical talent at the key moment, like to respond on the break and to break straight back.
60.
He doesn't get enough credit for it.
Gary Anderson in that leg on throw after a dozen darts had left tops. Not much more than that you can do, really.
60.
I know he could go out in 10, 11 or 12 or even 9, but you keep doing that, you'd expect to win a lot more matches than you lose.
121.
He looks for a third world title, and since the first PDC World Championship in '94, only one man has won more than 2 world titles, the PDC variety. He's won 14 of them, Phil Taylor. 3 men have won 2, and I have the pleasure of sitting next to one of them.
It was a pleasure for me to do so, and let me tell you,
55.
nothing like winning, and winning here at the Palace. Fantastic atmosphere.
Well, this will be another fantastic finish on double 8.
140.
Because he knew that Anderson was out of finishing range, so there was no need for Michael on 70 to go 20 ball. He had plenty of time. He's left double 8.
112.
You'd expect him to leave nothing after this turn. Expect him to gobble it up. Well, he made a meal of it.
Well, if there was any disappointment, if Michael got the third dart in the double, Gary Anderson wasn't showing it.
177.
Well, he had 3 of those last night against Barney. 174 and a 171 also.
131.
You'd expect a lot here. Oh, that's okay. It's unorthodox, but it's still a 9-darter. Well, if he goes bull, bull, bull here, we can all pack up and go home.
I'm pretty sure he had an attempt at with 150 left already.
How will it go? Yes. Treble. 18 would have left the double.
94. Gary required 50.
But there's Gary on 50 left with 2 darts for double top to take the leg. Hold throw double 10.
As you said, John, absolutely unnoticed. Anderson crept up with all the shenanigans and all the shouting about the possible 9-dart leg. Van Gerwen only threw 9 darts. That's all.
Well, that's right. Well, Gary did start with the 180. And
100.
he did a great job.
Lee Mack, the comedian, there's not much laughing and joking going on the big stage at the moment, as you'd expect, because every single set has gone to the last and deciding leg.
140.
Absolutely nothing in it here, really, as you can see. Well, those could hardly be closer.
96.
Look, just 500ths between the two. Both men have won 7 legs so far. Whoever wins this leg will be 2 sets to 1 up.
134.
It's an outside chance, but these are the sorts of ones that win championships. Needs treble 20. No. It'll leave some pressure, though.
137.
Well, there's still a chance for Gary Anderson. He's on double 12. He's won 2 world titles on that. Double 16 for Van Gerwen. And will his old pal, double 12, put him in front? It will. And the world champion has the lead. Michael Van Gerwen misses 2 darts to go 2 sets to 1 up. And the Flying Scotsman steals in to take the lead. Now then, only the second time in this 2017 World Championship, Michael van Gerwen is behind in sets.
Yeah, 2 darts missed to win the set. And they were costly misses.
57.
Well, he knew it. He knew he had to hit it. With Gary sitting on a double. His favorite double even, so
81.
the pressure told on Michael. He's not perfect.
Last night when he went behind to Barney, he went ballistic and just dismantled his fellow Dutchman.
That's the thing, Michael, he might not be perfect, but he can sure come back and make up for a mistake.
In his 2 World Finals up to press, he led Phil Taylor twice by 2 clear sets, Van Gerwen, and lost. He led Peter Wright 4-0 before getting over the line eventually.
100, Michael 107.
Match against Wright was absolutely remarkable. He won 12 of the first 14 legs. It's on here!
145.
He's had 3 in the tournament.
40.
3 170s. But it didn't rattle the cage of the champ.
Now Gary Anderson quite pleased right now because he has Michael van Gerwen chasing him rather than the other way around.
58.
Effective control of the match, of the final for Gary Anderson. Long way to go though.
134.
He has a wonderful attitude to the game, the reigning champion. We heard him in the pre-match interview saying if he gets beat, he'll shake his opponent's hand and say the other boy was too good for me.
60.
That enables him just to relax. He accepts that if you play darts, sometimes you're going to get beat. Even Van Gerwen has lost 20 matches this year around the globe.
58.
Yeah,
he has won 213, mind you, though, John.
Yeah, well, there's a difference, though. Michael van Gerwen, he doesn't accept that there's any reason why he should be beat by anybody because he's just got that caliber of play. Is that the right way to think or not? I'm not sure.
58.
Well, he'd be very unlikely to get beat in this leg. And he hasn't.
In the second leg,
1-1 in this set. But remember, Anderson has the darts in legs 3 and 5. The world champ looking for a three-peat. Knows what it is to lose a final too. He lost his first world final 2011 to Adrian Lewis. Avenged that last year. I'll tell you what, if he completes a three-peat, and his final victims have been Phil Taylor, Adrian Lewis and Michael van Gerwen, that is some treble of scalps.
139.
Yeah, champions all.
57.
Absolutely. But this man a great champion in his own right.
98.
Van Gerwen 213 wins this year. Anderson, the second most successful player on the planet, is 183. He wants 124, the Flying Scotsman. Doesn't need to go 14 for bull. The setup.
84.
Lovely.
Well, the conventional way would have been just fine. Some pressure now, Michael. But it's Gary who holds throw. And all the pressure now is on Van Gerwen. He has to win 2 legs to level the match.
Well, when Anderson beat Phil Taylor in that epic in 2015, that 7-6 shootout, his double top hitting was metronomic. He felt he couldn't have hit it any better if he'd been asked to just stroll up and place it in by hand. It was that perfect. Talking of perfect.
139.
Well, this has a 5th leg in the set written on it somehow.
57.
And that would be 4 consecutive sets in which that's occurred.
Well, the way they're going, this
99.
might be the most legs ever played in a match. Still early, but I like the way it's going. It's exciting when it goes to the 5th leg every time.
Well, the most it could possibly be would be 71. If it went to 6-5 in the 13th and deciding set.
83, Mark 112.
And to 5 legs in every other one. Treble 20, but an awkward line, an awkward angle for MVG. Makes light of it for double 16. Wires it. This time the miss will be of less significance than the 2 that he missed in the last leg of the last set, even with that maximum.
Yeah, much like Michael hit a 180 to pressure Gary in the last leg. Michael comes through as well. A little more work involved, a little more stress, because he needed to keep the set alive.
Well, it's interesting, John, because finishing last night, he hit 19 out of 37. That's 51% of attempts at double. But prior to that, in the tournament, he'd been under 40%. And tonight, he's dropped down to 33% here, Van Gerwen. And a few troubles on the doubles are starting to hurt the favourite here.
58.
And Anderson is knocking him in at over 50%. As you can see.
96.
Another huge leg of darts. And another huge visit of the utmost excellence and precision.
Yeah, defending his throw very well, but still on the attack in the prowl.
Well, he's left 86 after 9. The world champ is on 132. The champagne shot. Bull 32. Still on via treble 19. That would have left Bull.
104.
Now, Van Gerwen with the break-back chance and the match levelling chance.
Treble 18. So will he go fat 18? No, he goes treble, so double 7. And there it is for 2-2 in sets. Michael Van Gerwen, huge shot to level the match again. A break of throw at the best of times. And we're just beginning. Join us when we return.
Welcome back to the Alexandra Palace, where in the midst of a mighty battle, and that is mighty Michael Van Gerwen celebrating, pocketing the 4th set of this match. It really has been a nip and tucker. It has been a seesaw struggle. Never more than a set between the two protagonists. Now 2-all. First to 7 will be crowned World Darts Champion. And top of that, gets to trouser £350,000 as well. 190 grand on the match, effectively.
100.
Indeed. It just strikes me, Rod, at this moment in time, that Michael was at this stage in his semi-final match with Raymond van Barneveld. 2-2 in a very highly contested game. And then he found a way to pull away. After surviving being down 2-1 in sets and leveling at 2-2. Is this where he makes a move, or does the champ fight back? That's what we're here to find out.
Well, last night's performance really was darts' 4-minute mile moment, because that 111 average from Phil Taylor, world record, world championship average, had stood for 15 years and was obliterated in such a way that it was almost as if Roger Bannister hadn't run a 4-minute mile, about 3 minutes to break it by such a distance. Anderson's 10th maximum puts him in charge, or in with a chance, I should say, of breaking here. Bullseye for a biggie.
93. Michael requires 68.
Treble 20 and double 4. Double 2. And
66.
gives up an early break opportunity.
He's starting to miss a few, isn't he, the Green Machine? Double 10, the pick. Double 5. Well, it's easy afterwards to say that it was an odd way to go. Doesn't matter which way you go as long as you get it. 35, 3 for double 16. He presumably thought 15 was adjacent to the double 10, but didn't come off for Gary Anderson.
131.
Yeah, Michael can breathe a little easier, but not that much. He needs to really get on the attack after a good start from Anderson, which he equaled almost, or surpassed a little. 2 or 3 trebles to get ahead again.
Well, that's the 19th maximum, and this is the 22nd leg. So it just worked out, John, that it could be 71 legs. Imagine how many maximums there'll be then.
Well, he's in a position here, though. We've had 4 or 5 leg sets. Michael's in a position for a 3-leg sweep of a set and to change the tone of it entirely, much like in the semi-final.
Well, it'll be 2-0 if he can take out this 94. Choice of route. 54 for tops. That's the best route. He goes full MVG and he lets Anderson know.
Well, he easily could have been broken the first leg. Anderson failed to punish. And now the match
57.
looking to start the all MVG. It's a slippery slide you get on when you let MVG get at the controls.
And it is the speed at which he can do it. That's the key difference. Phil Taylor used to asphyxiate you over a period, didn't he? He strangled the life out of you. Van Gerwen just slices you up in no time.
Yes, asphyxiation does lead to choking. And many people did. When they did get opportunities that were genuine, they couldn't cash them in because they're just in knots. And I was probably one of them on many occasions.
And in it goes to underline the point and make it 10 all on maximums. And to underline the point of the speed at which Van Gerwen can do this to you. 2015 European Championship final, first to 11 legs. Anderson was 10-7 up. Before he knew what had happened, he'd lost 11-10.
I'm surprised Michael didn't know already Anderson on a finish. He had to look. He has to go for it.
65. Gary, you're going 164.
Can't find the first of the requisite 2 troubles, so as John said, it could be a clean sweep in this set for the world number 1. Wants double top, wants double 10. That was the double that caused Anderson the trouble. No problem for Michael Van Gerwen. He sweeps the set in set 5, and he now is back in front again as this topsy-turvy tussle continues at the Alexandra Palace. MVG now leads 3-2. Michael Van Gerwen against Gary Anderson, the world number 1 against the world number 2 for the World Darts Championship. It doesn't come any bigger and it doesn't come any better. It's been a real treat so far, which MVG is edging by 3 sets to 2. He's just put together a 5-leg winning streak to nick the 4th set and then win the 5th in a common canter. So 3-2 here to Van Gerwen. Anderson has the darts in this set. John has departed the commentary box and Wayne Mardle has arrived. What do you made of it so far, Wayne?
The standard, I think we felt was going to be similar or something like this. Couldn't see how they were going to foul because the pace of the pair of them is just plays in the hands to the other. There's been 21 80s in 23 legs, this the 24th. Michael missed the 150 for a 9-darter, missed the bullseye for a 170. It's kind of had everything, but nothing has been finished off. So maybe we will see a 9-darter and a 170, but right now Gary Anderson has got to stop this mini slide. He's not hit a double for 5 legs. I'm not saying panic set in, but
84.
Losing this set would be a real blow.
Well, he has dug himself out of trouble in World Championship finals. He's trailed in both the finals he's won. Trailed 4-3 to Phil Taylor right in the meat of that match. Trailed early doors to Adrian Lewis.
96.
But he's never trailed to someone averaging 107.
No. I'll give you that.
94.
Well, he's relying on Van Gerwen missing here, but he has just started to miss the odd double. And he's missed another brace there. So, Anderson, 20 for tops. You feel this is vital. Oh, and he's found it. That's what he has to do. Michael Van Gerwen makes mistakes. Gary Anderson must punish.
139.
Michael Van Gerwen created the chance for himself but couldn't take it.
112.
Anderson did.
Just to emphasise, last night Van Gerwen, I mean, he just didn't miss anything, basically. He missed 18 darts at double in the entire match. It was 8 sets. We're in the 6th set here and he's missed 23 already, so his finishing isn't quite on the money. It's not quite as good as it was last night. In fact, it's well below that standard. So Anderson has got to take full advantage while there's a drought on double from Van Gerwen.
Here we see. You just think with these two that
99. Michael McGuire 48.
even now, if Michael was to miss, Gary could easily take out the 150. There's just no breathing space. It becomes just a task. But when you're this talented, I suppose you just get on with it.
Well, the last time he lost on this stage, Gary Anderson, as Van Gerwen hits his 12th maximum, was to Michael Van Gerwen on the 28th of December 2013, 1101 days ago, as he makes it 11 maximums. Possible to get any information out with all this going on. Oh, Michael would have given him the 1-4-1 chance. But that defeat left him seething, didn't it? He was furious. He led 3-1 Gary Anderson in that game in 2014 in sets and lost 4-3. He cites that as the motivation for winning the world title. Back to back.
131.
Right, back to 81.
81.
Double 12. Double 6. It's a biggie. Oh, it bends the wire. It buckled in, but it didn't go in.
For a break of throw. Double 16. Double 8. What a big dart. Gary Anderson really is in trouble. He's lost 7 of the last 8 legs, and if he loses this leg, he'll be 2 sets behind the world number 1.
Yes, as the great cricket commentator Tony Cozier once said when Lara was 300 not out against England, things are beginning to look dangerous now. And they are here for Gary Anderson. Very dangerous. He has to find some way of stemming this tide soon, because start going 2 sets behind. Oh, against this man, you wouldn't fancy that job much.
But it's what Gary's being left with to win the leg he did in this set. He had to take out the 74. He had to take out the 74 to stop losing the previous leg. Earlier in the match, he was leaving doubles and getting 3 at it. Now he's having to take out combinations. Things are slightly changing. 51. Back upstairs to lead 24.
97.
Got to go, Gary. 60. 54.
56. Michael McGuire 64.
This is for another set and a 2-set advantage. The first clear daylight of this final. He wants double 8 and he's got it too. And Michael Van Gerwen now is pushing on.
7-set first leg is Michael.
That's a big moment. It's a big double. It's a big lead. 4-2 now to Michael Van Gerwen. Has Anderson got anything left to stop this relentless march towards a second world title for the Dutchman?
relentless. The pair of them. 24th 180 of this match.
134.
But they just keep doing it. They just keep ploughing in and on.
Well,
134.
one wonders if Phil Taylor's 16 world titles will ever be surpassed. But in terms of his averages, they're all getting surpassed. The one standing at the moment is the record in a final that Phil Taylor holds, 110.94, when he beat Van Barneveld 7-1 in 2009. Van Gerwen on 108.72 as he misses a couple of darts at double. It's the missed darts at double that are keeping the average below 110.
32.
Yeah, you're not going to average 110 with a 38% strike rate on doubles, are you?
Well,
that's another leg.
I don't know what he can do anymore, because what he has done over the last few days is redefine everything that we believed about darts. What we thought was true and what we held to be true hasn't been true at all. There is no limit anymore. There is no ceiling.
100.
And this could be, if Anderson loses from here playing like this, the third player who has averaged over 106 and got beat by Van Gerwen in this tournament.
140.
I mean, seriously, what is that all about? Gary can't. Well, he can't possibly get that through there, can he? That was reckless.
Is that the mind kind of just becoming mush?
Well, the treble 20 bed is becoming mush. 26 maximums now. Anderson can't go out. Van Gerwen most certainly can on 41 as this bludgeoning now starts to hurt the world champion. Double 16 again. This time he makes absolutely no mistake whatsoever. 2-0 in this set.
Michael Van Gerwen has now won 10 of the last 11 legs. This is an absolute barrage that Gary Anderson is being hit with. Michael Van Gerwen isn't going to stop. Gary has to stop him.
95.
Oh, look at those. This is a world final. This is when the players should be nervous. This is when they should be shaking like a leaf.
Just staggering statistics, frightening statistics. There just isn't anything in double digits. It's all three-figure averages.
Double digits are boring. This is just staggering. For the set, 1-2-5.
Treble 20 leaves double top. And it is absolutely breathtaking, and it is his third three-figure outshot of this final, and it is now a relentless onslaught turning into a procession. And are we now just 2 sets away from crowning Michael Van Gerwen king again? He leads 5-2. Well, we're witnessing something truly remarkable at the Alexandra Palace. And it's coming from the right arm of Michael Van Gerwen, who has produced the most exceptional run against Gary Anderson. He was 2-1 behind. He's run off 4 consecutive sets, and he now leads 5-2. He only needs 2 more to take the crown from the world champ, Gary Anderson. It's 5-2. To Michael Van Gerwen. Van Gerwen now has won 12 of the last 13 legs of darts. To borrow a few words from the Liverpool manager Wayne, Jurgen Klopp, the best word I can use to describe this performance is boom! Because it is, isn't it?
It's special. We knew it was coming from the pair of them, but 106.34 from Gary Anderson, and he's currently, not a start, he's currently being annihilated. Michael Van Gerwen has had 21 darts at a double more than Gary Anderson. He's outscoring him, and over those last 3 sets he's out finishing the great Scot, who was looking for an incredible hat-trick of wins. Gary knows, he's experienced enough to know Michael wants 2 more sets, but he won't look on it as Gary as winning the next 5 sets. He'll look at it as just stopping Michael, getting to 3. Do not reach 3 legs.
45.
180 here. He's in trouble again, Gary Anderson. He's definitely gone off the boil, and he is being punished. The green machine is just marching on relentlessly.
Another there or thereabouts, leaves tops.
32. Gary Revival 170.
Any revival has to start somewhere. This would be a good place to start. You could just see when he hit the big 17, there was almost an intake of breath, an edginess, a knowledge that he couldn't afford to miss from Gary Anderson, which you just don't see from the champ very often. He's going to get another chance, mind you.
Got to go. Well, not without drama. Double 5.
15. Michael required 10.
He is definitely struggling. Double 1.
No score.
The 2 best players in the world buckling under the pressure of each other's performance. This is massively important. This is a hold of throw. Cannot afford to be broken again. And isn't. Look, it was only 5, but it's still important. And it stops the rot.
140.
Well, 12 out of the previous 13 legs went Michael Van Gerwen's way. Doesn't matter how the rot would stop, that was as good as anything. And now look at it. See how a double 2 changes a man.
140.
Well, when was the last time Gary Anderson kind of got given anything in this match? So he'll accept it gratefully.
140.
Gary Anderson, as we know, is a first dart merchant, and if he can continue, like he has in this leg, to get that first dart in that 60, then this is not over.
56. Michael requires 76.
Well, he's gone off 180, 140 there, and he's really not going to get any kind of a sniff, I don't think. Now that puts an end to that nonsense on the doubles, thinks Michael Van Gerwen. More of that. That blip of a leg disappears into the darting history books. Normal service is resumed by the green machine and the world champion.
Gary has never ever averaged 100 in the world final. He's averaging 104 and he finds himself 3 sets down. It's all about timing, and tonight it's not been great. But 2 sets all, the match was in the balance. But then a run of legs for Michael Van Gerwen has put him in total control.
57.
Well, Gary kind of got away with that because he was shaking his head as Michael was having a drink of water. You may not have seen the negative body language.
134.
That may not be enough. Anderson has not had a 3-figure finish in this match yet, and he's going to be coming back for one. And he's be coming back here under pressure as Van Gerwen picks off the green bit twice.
Well, really should go 48 for 36. He's hunting for... Oh, what a dart! Double 12.
92.
That could have been one of the best finishes in this match. Again, coming up just shy.
Double 12. And he hits what Anderson missed.
Michael Van Gerwen.
The story of the final, really. And a couple of times that has happened on the self-same target that Anderson had failed to hit. Van Gerwen has taken the opportunity, and now he cannons in a 15th maximum. It's been too much, even for Gary Anderson. Even for Gary Anderson, the unflappable Anderson. Still that holy grail that it has been this week for him, on this championship for him, of the 9-dart leg, eludes the great man.
100.
Will he leave a 1 or 2 darter?
81.
Just about a 2.
Oh, treble 20 for tops. If he hits the single, we might see some double top action. I think we will. Oh no, double 10. Oh, they all come alive now to the world champion in waiting. He's 6-2 up. He's won 5 consecutive sets. It very much has the air of last night's semi-final, when Barney pushed him early on, but then was forced to sit and watch and suffer as Van Gerwen did a number, and he's doing it again, and the number he's after is 7. One more set for MVG and he'll be the king again.
Michael Van Gerwen just clinched his 6th set. Needs one more set to be crowned champ again for the 2nd time. The reigning champ, twice the reigning champ, Gary Anderson, just has no answer at the moment. Michael Van Gerwen has won 15 of the last 17 legs. Gary Anderson, averaging just shy of 104, simply has no answer to the rampant MVG. One more set for glory. Can Gary Anderson somehow stage the most incredible fight back? Or Michael Van Gerwen win world title number 2? That is Michael Van Gerwen's 16th maximum.
100.
He's very close
44.
to that world record average. He'd have to produce something that even he can't do. I think he'd probably need a string of 8-dart legs to break it from here, but the fact is 108.66. It's the 2nd highest average we've ever seen in a World Championship final, to go with that 114.05 from last night.
Good last start. There's one thing for certain. Gary won't think he's lost yet.
56.
Too good for that.
140.
60. Well, if he can just hit a ton. Sort of struggle, isn't it? Something's going right, and then something's just knocking him back again.
Oh,
25.
Did you throw them, Rod?
another single for tops.
60. Michael McGraw, 145.
You said it's just a struggle, isn't it? Sometimes it's very difficult to go under this pressure, carry on under this pressure. Has Michael done that? He has left double 3. Double 5.
Well, Michael just threw, thinking he wouldn't get another shot. Well, he's going to come back for double 3. It doesn't matter. Gary Anderson, when he's scoring, he's on, he's missing doubles. When he's scoring, he's off, he's not getting a chance. He's just being absolutely bullied at the moment.
Well, since the last World Championship, when he agonisingly lost to Raymond van Barneveld, Michael Van Gerwen has trousered in the region of £1.5 million in win and place prize money. He's about to add another £350,000 to that tally, and he'll be over £1 million ahead of Gary Anderson in the order of merit. Which means if he took a Ronnie O'Sullivan-style sabbatical until the next World Championship and didn't throw a dart, he'd still be world #1 when we got back here in December 2017. That is how far he is now ahead of the pack.
Because of performances like this, and
119.
because of the performances like against Barney.
Bullseye or 10.
19.
And I bet there's a few darts players who'd like him to take a year's sabbatical. Or preferably 10. Another remarkable display from the dynamic Dutchman. Can Anderson find tops?
The last two legs have been row deep from Michael van Gerwen. Don't want to start thinking of the finishing line. Great thing about set play is Michael van Gerwen is currently 2 legs away from being crowned world champ. But if Gary wins this set, it then goes back to 3 legs away.
31 maximums you saw there. The world record in a match is 34. Anderson now up to 64 for the tournament. That in itself equals his own record from 2015.
94.
It's been a record-breaking tournament.
105. Michael Carl, 148.
60. Trying to leave double 4 now. And does.
140.
Come on, Gary, make it happen.
Off that and in tops.
100. Michael Lacroix, 8.
Coming up short.
Double 4. Double 2. To within 1. To within 1.
100.
The pressure firmly on Gary Anderson. He's been in this position before,
59.
back in 2011 when he lost to Adrian Lewis. They both know what it's like to lose in finals.
96.
They both know what it's like to win. Gary knows what it's like to retain. Michael doesn't.
That is his 16th of the match and his 65th of the tournament. No player has ever thrown more maximums in a World Darts Championship, but it still doesn't look like being enough.
That's okay. 109 left.
85.
For once, breathing space, if you can call 6 sets to 2 down and 2-1 in legs down breathing space.
140.
Well, that was quick. That first start was so rapid, I'm sure it put him off the next 2 for the world title
That he's craved for so long. No finish though after that loose first start. Well, Van Gerwen disturbed at the worst possible moment with the World Championship in his grasp. Yeah. Well, the world #1 refocuses. Gary Anderson wants double 5, and in it goes. There was no finish anywhere for Van Gerwen after the first dart. And we move on.
I would say normally it's never easy winning world titles. It's never easy finishing off the job. But Michael van Gerwen is a winner. He's unbeaten. Well, he was unbeaten in 2016 in televised ranking events. So he knows what it's all about. But crossing that line may be prolonged, or maybe it'll never happen. Gary staging a rally.
700. 34 in this match. That equals a record. And Gerwen looking for a record of 33 consecutive televised darts matches victories. Wow, that is it! That's a record. We've never seen as many 180s ever in a darts match. Any place, anywhere.
99, Gary record 81.
This is absolutely magnificent from Gary Anderson. Double 13. That is the set to Gary Anderson. He enjoyed that, didn't he? And full credit to him. Reigning champ. Said to Michael, tell you what, pal, you're going to have to win this because I'm not going to give it to you. That's what that says to me.
Well, I have no idea if that disturbance affected Michael van Gerwen, but I really honestly hope it hasn't. That would not be right. But Anderson is carrying on, full steam ahead on the Flying Scotsman. It's all aboard the maximum train. 19 now, 19-17 to Anderson in that particular sideshow. 2 12s. Good night in 11 darts. Is something changing here?
Michael has to be reeling right now. He was within 115 points of the world title. Now, like I said, if Gary can win sets, he just pushes Michael back and back. So he's within 115 points, now he's within 3 legs. Further away. Oh, we couldn't, not now. It's the only thing this tournament has lacked, and that is a perfect leg. The pace from Gary's picked up. The belief, by the looks of it, has as well.
Van Gerwen has recomposed himself, it seems. Now on 87, now on 36, now on 11 dart leg. Back to back. First from Gary Anderson, and then from Michael van Gerwen.
78.
Is he back on course now? The darting juggernaut from the Netherlands. Yes, he is.
140.
Daphne, Michael's wife. Rachel, Gary's girlfriend.
She's seen it all before.
Oh, look at it now. Wow, what a great job that Gary Anderson won that last set. Not only to extend the match and prolong the excitement, but to give us this.
140.
Even the twice and reigning world champ was getting carried away with it. That's how good the last 5-10 minutes have been for him.
57.
103 it would be for his biggest finish of the match. Can't find it, so now here's a chance for MVG to move to the brink once more. Yes. Oh, well, we saw him miss 14 and hit treble 9 there on the match.
Tops now. There's a bit of a swagger. There's a quicker strut about Gary Anderson's walk.
93.
He was 6-2 down. Pulled it back to 6-3. Now he's odds on to make it 6-4.
Dave Chisholm had 21 maximums in a match. That equalled Barney's record from the 2007 final.
174.
That's well and truly under threat from either or both of them. This would be the 21st. Records are being smashed everywhere in the meat of this final and the heat of the final as well, as Van Gerwen tries to hit tops. That is his 5th three-figure outshot. And it could lead to the last leg of the match, right here, right now.
What a quality last start from Gary Anderson. Just picking off that 51. He knows that he may have to hit a couple of 140s or a 180 in this leg now.
96.
Michael Van Gerwen holding all the aces. 2 trebles in this visit. And Gary Anderson is under the cosh. Severely.
But you wouldn't know it. That's 22 from Anderson. He smashed that record. But he's on the brink of defeat here.
96.
To save the match. 60. Well, he was going 54 tops.
84.
For the world title.
20. The bullseye! And Michael Van Gerwen has waited 3 long years for that magical moment to be crowned King of Darts again. He owns every big title in the world of darts, but that was the one he wanted, the one he craved, the one he needed above all others, and he's got it. For the second time, Michael Van Gerwen earns the right to say, I am the world champion.
Gary Anderson, as you saw there, shaking Michael Van Gerwen's hand and saying, well done, mate. What a fantastic final, and what a fantastic event it's been. Gary Anderson, the twice and reigning world champ, coming up just shy, but he had an average of 104.93. Tonight belonged to Michael Van Gerwen, averaging 108.06. He's beaten Kim Viljanen, Christo Reyes, Darren Webster, Gurney. That performance against Raymond van Barneveld was record-breaking. John McDonald for the presentation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a magnificent 5 days. 15 magnificent days and a truly incredible final. And now, it's a moment we've all been waiting for, our presentation. Would you please welcome, on behalf of our title sponsors, William Hill, the head of trading for William Hill Online, Mr. Simon Cure, and the chairman of the Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Barry Hearn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going to show your appreciation for our runner-up as he receives £160,000 and his trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that? The Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson! As we present our winner, receiving £350,000, a magnificent Sid Waddell trophy, and for the second time in his career, we crown him the William Hill World Darts Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the two-time champion of the world, mighty Michael.
Well, Michael van Gerwen wins his second world title. Michael, sorry to interrupt the celebrations. I know you'd like to get cracking with them, but just tell us how you're feeling at the moment.
I feel absolutely over the moon. I absolutely have to perform my A game. I don't know what the average was on the end of the game.
108.
108. That says enough, I think, for everyone who watched this dart. It was, I think, incredible for everyone. And I was a bit struggling in the beginning of the game. He put me under pressure, and I missed a few doubles. And after that, I managed somehow to go back in the game. And yeah, this feels phenomenal. I'm really happy man at the moment. I find it, so hard for this. I won all the Sky Majors and just made the clean sweep.
As you said, you've waited so long, 3 years for the World Championship, and then winning everything this year. But that says it all, doesn't it, in your hands?
This is the most important one of the year, and I think everyone knows that. All the players know that, and we all fight for this really hard. And I'm really glad I did the right thing at the right moments, and I did the thing what I had to do, because Gary is a phenomenal player, and all the credits to him. 3 years after each other, the World Final, that means you got some class, and yeah, what can I say? I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm really glad, serious.
It looked as though someone was coming on stage to try and steal your trophy, and then Gary came back. What were you thinking then?
That was a bit sad, to be fair. I think during the game, I was in full concentration, and it wasn't going really well for me at that moment. But yeah, you always got people like that. They try to be funny, but he wanted to give me the trophy. That's what he wanted to do, but it was really nice of him, but he's not allowed to do that. But he never probably sees a dart game in his life anymore.
We're just going to have a word with Gary Anderson. We'll come back to you, Michael. And Gary, would you mind coming across? Gary, thanks for coming across to talk to us. We appreciate your time. Listen, you've been a terrific world champion for 2 years, and you're still a great champion. But tonight, you couldn't quite get the job done. Just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, this boy will be quite good. I reckon about 2 years' time he'll be a top dog, you know. The year that this man's had, the last 25 tournaments, it's been a walk in the park for him. I think tonight was the same, you know. But well deserved, you know. If anyone was going to win it, was going to be Michael. But I've had a good 3 years, you know. I actually thought somebody pinched the trophy earlier on, and they were off with it. But listen, the crowd's fantastic. Michael looked great. We've had a great couple of weeks.
The middle of the match was where he got away from. He wasn't. It was tight early on, and in fact, you played quite well at the back end. But that middle bit, I think he won 13 out of 15 legs.
Yeah, 2-2. I thought, right, we're still going, you know, and I just started to drop. But no, if you do that, you're going to get punished, and the boy done it, you know.
I'm sure you'll be back after him in 2017 and all the trophies and tournaments coming up, though.
We'll have a few more, yes, definitely.
Great, thanks for talking to us, Gary. We appreciate your time. Still a great champion. Gary Anderson, your runner-up tonight. And let's bring in Michael van Gerwen. Well, I'll leave it there for a minute. I'm sure you'll pick it up again in a minute. Look, you've won everything this year. How long can you keep on winning and winning and winning? Because you must feel invincible at the moment.
Yeah, that's easy saying, but I worked for this really hard all year through, and I've got a great support behind me. My wife, my family around me, and I worked really hard, and this means a lot to me, because everyone was keep saying he first needs to win the second one before he can talk with the big boys, and I did it today. I did it this week, and over the last few weeks and over the last few months, and this means a lot to me.
Just one final question. We saw 114 average in this World Championship, 123.4 in the Premier League. How high can you push that bar now in 2017, do you think?
I don't know, but I first want to celebrate this one, because this is the biggest one of the year, and this feels phenomenal. To beat Gary in the final, Raymond in the semi-final, they are the two guys I lost to the last 2 years, and I fought it for everything what I was worth, and I'm really glad it also paid out. I worked really hard for this.
I can see what it means to you, Michael. You've been the best player all year. You are the world champion. Pick up that trophy, lift it up and show it to the crowd. The world champion for 2017. He is mighty Michael van Gerwen.
class, brilliance from Michael van Gerwen. It's only just sinking in what he's achieved. The double world champion. Tears of joy, elation from the crowd. He deserved that trophy. He's been the best man all tournament. And as this song reverberates around the palace, we can reflect on what's been a magnificent World Championship and a magnificent performance from that man, Michael van Gerwen.
He come into this as the odds-on favourite, and he's played like an odds-on favourite all the way through. He's dominated when push comes to shove. He's always had the goods. But when you said about class and brilliance, you could have been describing Gary Anderson as well. The way he spoke about Michael after, that was a champion's response. Full credit to Gary Anderson for being up there and averaging 104.93 and only winning 3 sets. Absolutely incredible from the pair of them.
Every time we spoke to Michael van Gerwen in the build-up to this World Championship, during the World Championship, he said the whole year would mean nothing unless he won this. It's the biggest tournament of the year. Class and brilliance from that man.
Yes, I mean, when you look at the form coming in, he was the form man, and he's carried it on. So there was a lot of pressure. You know, everybody's put pressure on his shoulders. He put pressure on his own shoulders by thinking I'm playing well enough. But he has got this air of invincibility about him. You know, when he goes down, he doesn't question his own ability. He's got the firepower at any time to just turn it on. And that middle section, he was unplayable. I mean, the sets he rolled off there against, you know, the second best player in the world, Gary Anderson, was just phenomenal.
42 180s in that match.
Yeah, it was a lot of 180s, the record 180s, and I think that really helped Michael in the middle of the match. We knew Gary's strength was he was really good under pressure, clutch situations, fifth legs of sets. Well, Michael took that out of the equation. He just started winning sets 3-0 in the middle there. It reeled off all kinds of legs in a row, and he solved that problem. The heart, you know, like a blunt force.
John, how long as a world champion does it take for the moment to sink in? Because it suddenly seemed to dawn on him what he'd achieved halfway through the interview.
Well, yeah, it does take a little while because you're all in fight mode. Your adrenaline's pumped up and you've given it everything and you're going, and it takes a while for that to come out of you, and then you're a human being again, and you can think, oh, wow, I just did that.
I actually think it might be different with Michael because he's had such an extraordinary year. It might be relief as well, rather than the euphoria of winning, which is what normally happens. For him, I actually believe that he's more relieved than anything. He may see it as that it was his to lose. That's not putting anyone else down, but I think he saw it like that. That's why he said, if I lose, it will be a disaster. It wasn't about anyone else, it was always about him.
A word about Gary Anderson, because he's had a memorable tournament.
Yeah, and he's been a great champion for the last 2 years. He was the only player coming into this tournament that had the firepower. When we talk about power scoring, he was the only one with that was going to take Van Gerwen out. And Gary just fell a little bit short. I mean, not a lot short, but I mean, he's a real nice guy. I mean, for the last 3 or 4 years, we've had some great champions, because just winning it is not just what the PDC and Sky want to see. Now we want to see him go on and do all the right things and all the media and everything else. There's a whole package that goes with it. And Van Gerwen's brilliant at doing that, and Gary Anderson has been brilliant at that as well.
He was steamrolled in the end. The 2-2 looked like there's a game on.
Yeah, and you know, in the semi-final as well with Raymond, it was very hard fought for the first 4 sets, back and forth. And in fact, Gary was up 2-1 in sets and looking pretty good. Michael really dug deep and he leveled the match at 2-2, and then he just went on his roll. He had to win the last 2 legs of that 4th set, and then I think he went at least the next 9 after that to go up 5-2.
Every time Michael's been asked a question in this tournament, whether it was against Christo Reyes, Webster, Daryl Gurney played well, but especially Barney and tonight, push comes to shove, Michael van Gerwen has then outscored his opponents. He even outscored Gary Anderson, who is without doubt the second highest scorer in the world of darts right now. He can outplay them for longer. That's why he's the champ. But
he can do that because Michael van Gerwen has played nearly every single tournament on the tour, from just pro tours to Europeans to all the TV events. And because he's won most of them, he's playing the longest, so his endurance is there. He's kept his edge. a lot of players duck out of loads of tournaments, go and do exhibitions, which doesn't give you any edge at all. You think you're playing well in exhibitions, you're not. But Michael van Gerwen has been the ultimate professional dart player this year.
He's a bit younger as well.
It does. That does help. I understand all that, but he's done it the right way. I mean, he's when he's looked at his mindset of how he wants to do things, he's done it perfectly. You know, the sports psychologist got hold of him and said, they'd go, I can't do anything for you because you've done it perfectly anyway.
Tell you what, we'll be revealing the Premier League lineup in just a couple of moments' time, but let's leave you for now with some memories of the last 15 days. It's been special, very special.